Good morning, everyone. This is Mick Ruby from Mufc Realist TV with your daily transfer bomber and rumors and gossips, everything that's going around regarding Manchester United and transfer news. And today we have a jam-packed show. Of course, we're going to talk about shock bid for Benjamin Sesko and also a midfield target that is revealing, that is stalling, that doesn't want to accept a contract extension. We're talking about Javi Guerra from Valencia. Of course, we're going to talk about Ollie Watkins, as Rúben Amorim has said he wants a Premier League proven player, a striker, a very important sort of. Is that meaning that we are going to do a swap deal for Ollie Watkins versus Watkins and Garnacho? We will see. Stick around for that one. And Chelsea certainly wants Garnacho before completing even the deal with Javi Simons, according to the reports. But last but not least, Real Betis. They are willing to walk away if they don't get Antony dos Santos on loan. This is Mick Ruby with the latest transfer news. Like and subscribe as per usual, and let's dive right into the show, shall we? Send it.
And Garnacho!
Has the Premier League ever been more challenging?
Will you be in the dugouts at Old Trafford on Sunday? I will be here. Definitely.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, let's go. We're entering the final days of this month and a lot of people getting payday. I think it's 24th, 25th, but also very crucial moments as we're entering the final stage of the transfer window where prices will come down and desperation in the selling clubs. Of course, we're talking about RB Leipzig. We're going to talk about Benjamin Sesko here, as it's worth noticing that RB Leipzig have to sell players this summer. This is the report coming out from credible sources, and this is what I've been saying as well if you followed my Twitter timeline. Let's read this. This is coming from FC Bayern, basically very, very credible source when it comes to German football. It's worth noting that RB Leipzig have to sell players this summer. They have a target to bring in 100 million, which is equivalent to 86.6 million, and they have just two players in the mind, in the range that they can actually raise the fund. They can make the club money. That is Javi Simons and Benjamin Sesko, of course. Now, of course, we're going to talk about this man of the hour here, as we also understood that RB Leipzig will not stand in his way after the conundrum with the Arsenal debacle. Basically, RB Leipzig said they evaluated, he has got a release clause on 80 million, but there is a gentleman's agreement between Sesko, his agent, and RB Leipzig. And lo and behold, we are hearing now that they've lowered down the asking price for 60 million pounds, which is almost around 70 million euros. So for me, that is very, very important. But we're going to talk about a shock bid. What is going on with Benjamin Sesko? 100%. I did actually a tweet report, which I want to cover here. So this is coming in from Mick Ruby in today's transfer bomber. Just in, shocking offers made for Benjamin Sesko from RB Leipzig. Al Hilal and Al Alahi are ready to offer him a staggering 40 million per season, people. A 14 million. That is, Benjamin Sesko's grandchildren and, children and ever after, financial security saved. However, Sesko is fully focused on Europe and the Premier League and not considering a move to Saudi at this stage. He has a verbal agreement with RBL to leave for a package of about 80 million, but due to financial struggles, Leipzig are now open to offers around 70 million, people. This is music to my ears, and this is what I've been saying. The closer we get to the transfer window close, the desperation of the selling club, since RB Leipzig need to raise capital, they will drop. And this is where Manchester United's strategy is to pounce down. You know what I mean? Let's continue reading my report. Manchester United have made inquiries through intermediates and are discussing this deal internally. So, meaning that RB Leipzig are aware of Manchester United's interest and would not block a move for Benjamin Sesko if a bid comes in. So far, no bid and no club-to-club negotiations. Only intermediates been meeting up with Benjamin Sesko's agents last week. And there's numerous conversation if there is a bid to be made. So 70 million 70 million is definitely 60 million pounds, in my opinion. And if we could look at that, we could actually do a deal, because Manchester United actually inquired before for Hugo Etiquette to try to hijack the deal. And he's not Premier League proven. So obviously Manchester United are seriously looking at Benjamin Sesko as the number one target. But the price of 60 million pounds is something that Manchester United could do. 100%. If you look at what we did with Mbeumo, we did with Cunha, equivalent. And you can actually do that in installments. And of course, this is Christopher Verbel scouting. This is what I've been reporting for a very long time. Manchester United have been tracking him since 2018, in fairness. So, however, if you look at his last season, it wasn't that great. It was a poor season for Benjamin Sesko. He played in a very poor RB Leipzig team that didn't even qualify for Europe. So that's why you're seeing he's willing to play for Manchester United without any Champions League or European football. But he was played out of position. But if you compare him to Ollie Watkins, which we're going to do in the next slide here as well, he had equal in goal involvements and goals to Ollie Watkins. And he's only 22 years of age. So let me know in the comment section below, what do you think? Do you think that Manchester United should go all in? Because so far, there is no club-to-club negotiations. RB Leipzig are expecting Manchester United to approach to have negotiations. And they've been saying, we are willing to listen for 60 million pounds or 70 million euros, and he is yours. So the next player that I want to discuss is 100% Ollie Watkins. Now, I know what you're thinking. Is it a stopgap? Well, in my opinion, if you ask my opinion, I would rather go for Benjamin Sesko, 22-year-old. You know, there's a lot of resale value. There's a lot of development. And if I look at Ollie Watkins' stats from last season, he played 38 games. He had 16 goals and he had 8 assists. So that's total 22 goal involvements. The same as Benjamin Sesko. And Sesko is only 22 years of age and already achieving the same outputs as Ollie Watkins. But however, there is some reports saying that Rúben Amorim wants a Premier League proven player. And I keep saying that, take it with a pinch of salt. I don't really believe what the media is saying. If Man United were willing to hijack the Hugo Etiquette deal, so that doesn't really mean that we are looking for a Premier League proven striker. And in terms of Garnacho, that is a saga, that is a key that will unlock everything, in my opinion. This is where Manchester United can generate the funds. Because Garnacho, if you sell him for 50 million pounds, that is equivalent on the PSR books as counting as 3 times the value. So Manchester United could spend anything between 120 to 150 on pure profit. So that means the Man United could get the goalkeeper, you can get the midfielder, you can get the striker for that money that Garnacho is generating. Now, however, there is some reports saying that Manchester United are willing to do a swap deal for Ollie Watkins and Garnacho. And Garnacho is kind of willing because Rúben Amorim told Garnacho that, you better pray that you find another club because you ain't playing for us, right? So you got to find a club. So the message is clear. And that is me looking at Garnacho. What have you done? You could have been here playing with Rúben Amorim, with Cunha, with Mbeumo and everyone else. But instead, you couldn't keep your mouth shut, after the European final loss. So it is what it is. So Chelsea, according to reports, is saying that they are going very strong. Even Fabrizio Romano saying they are now going to bid for Xavi Simons. You see how this is interlinked, right? We mentioned that RB Leipzig, they need to generate 100 million. They have 2 players that can generate that funds, Xavi Simons and definitely Benjamin Sesko. Now, I'm praying that Chelsea will do the deal first for Xavi Simons, and they might pay 70 million euros for Xavi Simons. And that means that there is no pressure for RB Leipzig to demand 80 million for Benjamin Sesko. That means that they almost reached the target. Like if they sell 70 million for Xavi Simons for Chelsea, that means that they only need to raise 30 million. So Manchester United could definitely do this deal for Benjamin Sesko in the range of 50 to 60 million pounds plus add-ons. So that is one way to look at it. But on the other hand, if you look at, I just simply don't want Jackson. I mean, I say that Ben Jacobs also saying the price range for Jackson, They valued him on 80 million pounds to 100. That is madness. That is madness. And getting a Jackson, because he's Premier League proven, will not change the needle whatsoever. His finishing is appalling. I'd rather than go for Ollie Watkins. I know it's a stopgap, 29 years of age, not a resale value. Give him a 3-year contract and off you go, right? You can still do the negotiations of potentially do a swap deal for Garnacho versus Watkins. If they want 70 million, we sell them Garnacho for 50. They still need to do that transaction, and we pay the difference, which is about 30 million for Ollie Watkins and Barabush. And that is the way you can look at. But I don't want to enrich Chelsea whatsoever. They are definitely going to try to pull a blinder over us, like to pull the wool over our heads and say, listen, we will only take Garnacho if you take our Jackson. And I said, no way, don't do the deal. Don't enrich Chelsea. Don't let them have it. Because guess what? Chelsea will definitely take the money, and they will get better players, right? They will use the money, and they will probably go and target him, Benjamin Sesko. Look, they're just hoovering up talent left, right, center, and they're doing it smart by selling, like, hotels, by doing Damak deals, by actually winning the club competition World Cup, and they got 100 million to spend. This is Todd Bowley, right? They're doing it very, very smart. So I said, no way, don't do it, please. Now we're going to move on, and 100%, we're talking about another shock bid that was coming in. And of course, we're going to talk about the latest goalkeeper situation. And that's what I'm saying, that Senny Lemons is the one to watch. I've been saying that for quite a while. And there is reports now coming in, what I've been saying as well, that Manchester United have been scouting it for at least 5 months. And this is attainable for 70 million euros. And Royal Antwerp, they are willing to listen to offers. They expect Manchester United to come in. And I said, this is the keeper that I think we will get at the end of the day. Because the rumors and speculations regarding Emi Martinez, that we hear there is a special release clause that he can go for 22 million pounds. However, latest is saying that Aston Villa also need money and do expect a 40 million. So it depends on what Manchester United want to do. 100% Onana is going out the door, and that's what the backroom staff was saying to me back in, the Asian post-season tour. When I spoke to them, they said, we are looking for an upcoming goalkeeper that can fizz out Onana, because it's very difficult for them to sell Onana this summer window, but potentially bring in a young Lemons that can challenge Onana, take over his spot, and then next season you will sell Onana or loan him out at the end of the day. So guys, this, according to my opinion, the goalkeeper that Manchester United will go for will be Senny Lemons. But I want to talk about another shocking story, and that is 100% Javi Guerra from Valencia, the 22-year-old that is upcoming Busquets, what people are saying. Now, there was a lot of reports that spun around, but I know the Manchester United have heavily scouted Guerra, and there was even reports 2 weeks the Manchester United were preparing a bid, but that was kind of shut down. But now we're actually seeing reports from yesterday, according from Nathan Salt as well. A lot of Spanish outlets to say that Javi Guerra has turned down Valencia's opening offer to extend his contract. He doesn't want to do that. Negotiations are ongoing. Figures in the Spanish club are relaxed about things. But however, he is said to believe that also coming in that Matteo Moreno, you know who is Matteo Moreno? He works with Fabrizio Romano. And when he comes out to speak, it's very credible. He comes in to say, Javi Guerra has rejected Valencia contract renewal proposal, but he will continue to negotiate and will also try to understand if other teams such as AC Milan and Manchester United and other clubs in Spain will make concrete moves. And then we have other stories that there is always Manchester United are preparing to make a 22 million euro move for Javi. Now, AC Milan, I could say that they don't have the money. They're pretty much out of the race. We know that Manchester United internally have discussed this brilliant midfielder. Oh, what a god. If we get him, I'll be over the moon. But somehow I feel that his agent is kind of using this to get the better salary and better deal for his client at Valencia. But on the other hand, you look at Valencia, they finished very poorly in the league. They need the money. They're desperate. The initial release clause that they had on 100 million is coming down to 22 million, up to 30. And this is in the right price range what Manchester United wants. Age profile 22. If you missed this season, last season, go check it out. Amazing. box-to-box midfielder, central midfielder, can play deep line. But this will transfer Manchester United in all certain ways. Let me know in the thoughts and feelings what you think. Do you think it's paper talk? Do you think it's his agent using it? But more and more reports coming out that Manchester United are preparing to make a move. And why not? If he rejected the contract, that means he doesn't really want to play for Valencia. Or could it also be that he wants a better deal? But I think at 22 years of age, you want to play for a better club, and Manchester United are being knocking on the door since the beginning of the transfer window. So I like to be a realist. I like to think that is his agent trying to use Manchester United's name, but at the same time, more and more reports coming to say that Manchester United are seriously tracking him, and this is a Christopher Vivell recommendation. So Jesus Christ, if we get this over the line, and Fabrizio Romano was saying that we are looking for a important midfielder. And another important midfielder can also be what we've been saying all along, that is Edison, but it's a price range of 50 million euros, right? So it's a little bit more steeper, a little bit more money, and I think that Manchester United were more looking to pounce on this deal with Javi Guerra. Because why? Of course, Edison is mature, is 26 years of age, turning 25, 26, but we've done deals with Atalanta before, and they are not easy to do deals with. So at the end of the day, Valencia need the money, and here's the player that we can get on 22 million. I will let you know, guys. Let me know in the non-comment section below, who would you go for? Would you go for Javi Guerra as the next up-and-coming midfielder? Do you reckon Manchester United could do this deal, or do you think that we will pivot towards no other than Edison from Valencia, from Atalanta? Anyway, guys, very interesting stories and very, very, very interesting 4 weeks. We are about to kick off 4 weeks now against Arsenal. And of course, on Sunday, we are playing in Chicago. So that's going to be very interesting. I tried to do a watch long, but anyway, this is a sort of a little bit of extended show. I've done 7 minutes overtime, but as per usual, I like to hear your comments. So leave your comments below, everything that we discussed. Who do you want as a striker? Would you like to have a Premier League proven like Ollie Watkins, 29-year-olds, no resale value, or would you rather go for Benjamin Sesko, 22, that has equally outputs and played less games than actually Ollie Watkins? In terms of goalkeeper, everyone kind of agrees Semi Lemons, the upcoming goalkeeper. I think that is the one for the future. If Manchester United can get it between 15 and 17 million, you spend nothing. Let's say if you spent 17 million on Semi Lemons and 22 million euros on Guerra, oh my God, you didn't spend nothing. You spent 30 million for 2 players. That is the way I want Manchester United to do the deals. But then the most money that we are going to spend is the striker. 100%. I'd say I don't mind the Watkins deal, but I look at it longevity. I would love us to get a Sesko. I mean, of course, we've been scouting him since 2018, so it doesn't really make sense. But on the other hand, if you're Manchester United trying to finesse the deals, if we really try to offload Garnacho, we do a swap deal, and the problem is solved. But then you have another headache 3 years down the track when Ollie Watkins is kind of aging legs. Anyway, this has been Mick Ruby on this day of recording, coming to you on the salary day, 24th. Let's see what happens, but do not forget to like and subscribe. And that's about it for me today. Let's send it. See us to the next time. Glory, glory, Manchester United. Send it.